Episode 189 of the White Cat Outdoors podcast. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. This week, again, sorry to say it, Tom is out of the studio. I know. What are we going to do with him? Frank says we might want to fire him. I don't know. Rent might go up if we do. So we're just going to have to evaluate. Let us know in the comments what you guys think. What are we going to do with Tom? You know, if he wasn't helping take care of the farm, getting us ready for deer season, it'd be a definite, but, you know, man's got to get work done, you know? Anyways, this week, Frank and I are sitting down with some preseason updates. We've been doing our scouting, doing some spotting, putting trail cameras out, and we're finally starting to see the potential of what could come this season. And we're starting to get excited because we got some really good deer that we're going to be able to chase this year. And just want to let you guys know where we're at, and maybe you guys can, message us, tell us what you're seeing. We're at the point where the season's rapidly approaching, and that's about all I can think about at this point is deer season. So I'm going to quit rambling. We're going to get jumped into this episode. Thanks again. Let's get tuned in.
And then I looked dead at his antlers. I got out of the truck, and when I slammed the door, I heard gobbles all around me.
Let's see it.
Alaska, moose, spot and sock. That is the bucket list. I agree.
White Cat Outdoors. White Cat Outdoors.
What is up, everybody? Tom's officially fired from the White Cat Outdoors podcast, so you're just going to be sitting with me and Nick from now on because Tom is again not here.
I have a feeling rent's going to go up if we kicked him out.
Right? Well, we got I got a house. My parents used to be our studio, so we have other options.
Yeah, I'm hopefully looking like sometime early next year I'll be purchasing, so that'll be pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Tell you what, housing market sucks right now.
Yeah, it's not great.
It's cool.
That's what we're talking about today, the housing market.
Yeah. Get out your notepad. You guys are going to get some premium education on the housing market.
Yeah.
Little did you guys know this is what we're moving into.
Yeah, switching to an economist.
Yeah, we've
podcast.
always talked about the outdoors, but now we're trying to get you guys indoors, in a house.
Yeah, we want to get you into your first home, or if you've already owned a home before, we want to get you into a better home.
Yeah, second income, just cash cow, streaming money in.
Yep.
Hang on for the ride.
Can you imagine if we did that?
Just like randomly, just no.
Just a 180 into economist.
I wonder, since Tom's not here, I'll say it. If you guys would still listen, leave it in the
I
comments.
don't think anyone would still listen.
They don't have to worry about it because it would never.
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 Fucking years happen.
No, it might. I could see maybe someday, depending on what happens with us, it switching to a different hunting. Like, say, I win the lottery and we all move out to Utah and it's just monster mule deers every year.
Yeah.
Probably have to move away from whitetail, but
You never know.
I'm just saying it could happen.
It could.
It's over $1 billion right now, the lottery, so.
Hey, that could get us a lot of mule deer hunting.
Yeah, it could.
We could get a pretty nice house, and even in this economy.
I'll be honest, if I had the opportunity, like say I won $1 billion, I always thought I would buy property in Illinois or something, but you're limited to whitetail, which not a bad thing. No. But I think I might go Montana.
Yeah,
because Montana's got
mule deer,
everything.
Whitetail, bear,
pronghorn.
Yeah, you have everything.
Sandhill
Wyoming's
cranes.
Another great one.
Yeah, I would go somewhere with a little bit more diversity.
Yeah, I would too. I would definitely go probably Wyoming.
Yeah.
Maybe Montana. Tough to say.
Maybe we can just find a sugar daddy that just wants to give me $1 billion without the sugar.
I was gonna say, I don't know about that.
Have we talked about
what a sugar mama?
Yeah, whatever works. We've talked about our tactics for getting property on hunts, haven't we?
Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
We won't talk about it now.
No, it's a dark time.
Sometimes it's embarrassing. But hey, you got to do what you got to do.
Desperate times call for desperate measures.
That's a fact.
I'll just leave them with this. stop at nothing to get hunting property.
Yeah, by any means.
Well, Frank, I think we've taken up enough of their time. What are we talking about tonight?
We're just going to keep it short because we have a lot going on. We talked last week. We got the big party coming up on Saturday. By the time you guys are listening to this, party will have been done. And I can guarantee you we will have had a great time. So we are just going to keep this pretty short because we got a lot of stuff to do to prepare for that. So we're just going to kind of talk about some hit list bucks, some deer we're seeing, what we're thinking coming into the season based on what we've seen so far.
Yeah, just kind of like a update as of now kind of thing.
Yeah.
And what kind of sparked this is Frank, so I'm going to let you start. We've all been doing our, trail cameras, doing a little bit of scouting. I make sure pretty much everywhere I go, I've been taking the long way, hitting fields and stuff, because I've got little properties all over the place that I've got permission on. And I'll be honest, there's some of them I go years without ever stepping foot on.
Yeah.
But I like having them, so, in the chance that I'm driving by, I see a deer that, is of the caliber I'm looking for now. It's like, oh, there we go. So I'm always driving the long way home and checking out fields and whatnot. But go ahead. What have you been seeing this week?
So right behind my house, I have a big clover field. And it was beans last year. He was going to plant beans in it again this year, but he just has had terrible luck with beans. So it's like 10 acres of clover. And the deer love it. They've been out there every night, sometimes.
Even while you shoot your bow, which is wild.
Oh, yeah. They
don't care.
Yeah, me and Jen were sitting on the porch the other night, and we were just talking, listening to music, like carrying on, and they were 30 yards from us. They don't care because they're used to the house and me being out there listening to music, shooting my bow. They hang out all night long.
And they know you can't hit shit.
Yeah, they're like they're watching me scoping out the talent. They're like, yeah, we got nothing to worry about.
We can
here.
come closer, guys.
Everybody, move in.
Gather around.
Yeah, but so I'm sitting out there last night, and a very, very nice buck came out.
You had two good bucks, but one was exceptional.
Yeah, the one
for the
was
area.
a nice 10. He was probably around that 125-ish. But standing next to the other one, it's like, woof.
You was not impressive next to the other. I was
Not
like,
at all.
ooh.
The other one, I don't want to say 150, but I bet it's going to be right close to 150.
You know how I judge deer on the hoof, and I'm always low.
Yeah.
I was thinking 140.
Yeah. I'm thinking in the 140s, but
because he doesn't have a ton of time to continue to grow. He might get a little bit more length and maybe some mass.
Yeah.
But for the most part, his peak growing's done.
Yeah.
And you can actually start to see that on a lot of bucks.
They're taking shape.
Yeah, they're starting to take shape and almost start more towards a point instead of clubs.
Yeah.
You can just tell that they're getting to the point where they're about done.
Yeah. So I was thinking the same thing. I'm thinking he's in the 140s. I think
just
he's gonna
so
be
difficult.
Mid-140s.
It's just so difficult for a buck to hit 150, especially in this area.
Yeah.
But being a clean 10 is...
And he might have an 11th. I didn't get a great look at him. I sat, because they're so used to me. I was yelling at him. I sent a video to you guys. I had to yell at it 3 times before it even picked its head up. But it wouldn't look at me and give me a good look. And it's definitely a 10. It might have an 11.
Well, and his G4s have got plenty of length. Like a lot of times 10s are 2 inches.
Yeah.
No, this
he's
thing's
long all the way out. He's a picket fence.
Yeah, it's a beautiful buck.
Yeah, nice and wide, nice and tall.
You'd have to be mounting him.
Oh, I would definitely, especially because it'll be recurve.
Yeah,
definitely.
That would be insane.
Could you imagine if that was my first recurve buck?
I would probably retire the recurve. It might get broken in half.
Just snap it.
Yeah, I would probably just throw it.
That'd be crazy.
Just turn into a javelin. Be over. Like, well, this bow has done everything it possibly could for me.
Yeah, exactly. Other than that, I've had very little on trail camera, so my best prospect so far has been seen with my eyes, which I love that.
That's better than trail cameras.
Yeah, exactly.
Because a trail camera is nice, but it gives you a split second in time.
Yeah.
And depending, if there's other deer around, it's difficult to even tell where they came in from sometimes because if you had a doe that came in and then now you've got that minute or 3 minutes, whatever you got your camera set, he could have kind of circled around, and by the time it comes back on, he could be facing the way he actually came, and it gives you the impression that he came from somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly.
So seeing him with your own eyes and being able to, how long did you watch him?
For an hour.
Yeah, see, like that tells you so much
Yeah, I
about what's
watched
going
him
on.
come into the field. I watched where he, how he worked through the field and where he went to after he was done, and it's very, very helpful
There's
to
a
get
lot.
that in-person intel.
You picked up a lot of pieces on that puzzle, watching him come into the field, how he works through the field, and then how he exits the field too is just as important.
Yeah, no doubt.
And even though the likelihood of that buck continuing to on that same pattern
Yeah.
in October is low, but what it does show you is how he moves. There are a lot of bucks seem to I've got pictures of bucks that we'll see them every time there's a northwest wind on a certain camera, and for whatever reason that buck just likes to travel in this area with that wind, and you can learn a lot by watching him do that, and you can kind of go back, be like, yep, this was the temperature, this was the wind direction, and
He
log
may
a lot
do
of
this again.
yeah. So that's key.
Yeah, and I haven't checked cameras in 2.5 weeks now, so and I doubt I'll get to on Sunday. So hopefully Monday I'll get to go out and take a walk and check some stuff after work, and I'm sure I'll have some prospects on camera since it's been so long since I've checked them. But that we'll see. You never know, and definitely looking in a good direction.
Yeah. So I've only seen probably one shooter buck on the hoof.
Have you been spotting much?
No, I haven't really been doing any spotting. I've been pretty busy, and with Tom and I doing the gym thing in the morning,
Yeah.
I get as much sleep as I possibly can, and as much sleep as I possibly can ends up being about 6 hours.
Yeah.
So
I've been pretty reckless lately. I've been staying up, and I've gone spotting quite a bit.
as probably once August is over, I'm probably going to be spotting a couple nights a week.
Yeah.
Trying to, because like in September, you're a lot closer to what could happen that first weekend.
Yeah.
And historically, most of my deer are killed within the first.
week.
A lot of them have been first day.
Yeah.
Which I pride myself in that, just because it shows that I know what's happening early season.
Yeah.
And I solidified it again this year with I still cannot get a buck in November with my bow.
Yeah.
I don't know what it
We'll
is.
see if you can do it this year.
Yeah, the latest I've gone is Halloween. This year I killed first day, or last year I killed first day of rutcation, which was like October 30th or October 29th. Not complaining.
Yeah. Definitely nothing to complain
I
about.
did get a November buck for the first time this year, but it was with my rifle up in New York.
Yeah. Which that doesn't count.
Yeah, I don't count that at all. I count it as a buck, but not as a November kill.
Yeah. Unless it's with a bow, doesn't count.
Yeah, so I've seen one good buck that I would shoot on the hoof, and that was actually up by the headquarters. He was,
Oh yeah, that was when you and I left.
yeah, I mean, he was out past his ears. His G2s, running, tough to tell, but they had plenty of height on them for that area, and what we've been seeing was 100% a shooter.
Yeah.
And realistically, if he wasn't a shooter back home, it would have been really hard to say no.
Yeah.
Like he's right on that line for me. But he was 200 yards from our property, like not far at all, just
Yeah.
coming out of a cornfield midday. I got a really good look at him, and then watched him kind of bound away and back into the timber. But that's the only like shooter buck I've seen on the hoof. I've seen a lot of smaller bucks, and then one of the spots Tom and I hunt, there's quite a bit of beans around us this year, and every time I'm out there, I see bucks. Nothing too giant yet. Tom's seen one really nice one.
Yeah, I've spotted a few times around the farm, and I've seen some bucks, but nothing crazy.
Yeah, nothing to get too excited about.
Yeah.
But Tom and I put a camera in a new spot this year. Never had a camera there. Neither of us have really hunted there. I sat one day and rifle a couple years ago, but it's just somewhere we've never really hunted. But knew that there had to be potential. Just the way the property was laid out and stuff. We're like, hey, we should, try and get some
Move in
intel.
on this a little bit.
So we found a real heavy trail, and set up some cameras. And for the first 2 weeks that the camera was out, it was like doe,
you
spike.
have cell cams out on that?
No, there's not a cell cam on this one. But it was like does, couple fawns, nothing. And then after about 2 weeks, we got a buck, and I was like, oh, okay. And he's got matching split G2s.
Ooh,
It is-
I love that.
It is beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
That's dope.
He is a clean mainframe 8, but turns out to be a 10 with, equally symmetrical split G2s.
Big splits?
Probably about 3 inches.
Nice.
I mean, so it's a solid point. It's not just a little bump.
Yeah.
Not quite like mule deer like. There's definitely kickers. It's not like a Y.
Yeah.
But matching on both sides, which I absolutely love. Like when there's junk but it matches, it's like even better.
Best of both worlds.
It's a chef's
Symmetrical
kiss.
junk.
Yeah. So that one, after about 2 weeks, he started showing up, and he's coming about every third day.
Nice.
So that's really cool.
You haven't showed me this one yet. I'd kind of like to look at them.
I'll show you. I don't have a great picture on here, but I've got some. You can see what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And I haven't checked that camera in probably 2-3 weeks. So I'm hoping we get a better picture of him, because at the last picture I had of him, he was still real club-like at the end, so he still had more time to grow. And
and the fact that you could still really see those splits on his G2s when he was still real clubbed up.
And depending on the angle, it might be 2 inches or something like that, but it's protruding enough to where I know that it's not just like a little bump. You know, where it's like, oh man, he almost grew that.
Yeah.
No, these are 100% scoreable points.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited about him. And then, and you've seen him, but what we have, I would say probably a pretty close to top contender on camera up at the headquarters.
Yeah.
Based on what we've seen in the past up there, he's probably top 3, I would say. Like if somebody got him, he'd probably be top 3. I think he would flirt with Tom's number 1.
Yeah.
It's close.
Yeah, and it looks a lot like Tom's biggest buck up there. It's kind of narrow, really tall.
Yeah. But
we get a lot of bucks like that up there.
Which I hate narrow bucks.
I don't like narrow bucks either. I like narrow bucks that are just retarded mass. Like
that's the only way I can make up for it.
Yeah.
And Tom's wasn't pencil thin.
No.
But he wasn't like super heavy.
No.
But the buck I shot last year was, besides maybe a little bit more mass would have been nice, but was what I love. Wide, decently tall. I like wide bucks. Wide bucks just look so much bigger.
Yeah, they do.
And mass. Mass doesn't lie.
Yeah, mass makes a buck. Your jaw drops when you see a massive one.
Yeah. But I'll be honest, based on the progression we've seen up there and the bucks that we had last year that we know made it, there's potential for that buck to not even be in the top 3 of what's on camera. Yeah. I mean, you and I saw 8 different bucks in a week that were shooters in November last year.
And a couple of them were they were
top contenders. Yeah. Now, you and I did take 2 bucks off the piece, but that left 6 others.
But the 2 that we took weren't the biggest ones we saw. We saw several bigger than the ones we shot.
Yeah, which it's rifle season. Get mad at me. I don't care.
Yeah. Watch me do it again.
Yeah, and we do it again and again. But yeah, so I'm not really even excited too much about that deer because I think that there's bigger ones out there.
I definitely think we'll have some.
That's one
ones.
Camera up there. There's several up there that they've been out for over a month.
Yeah.
And they're gonna sit another week before we go and check them.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited for that card pull because there's
gonna be some exciting things.
I hope the bear's back too. I'm like on a bear kick now after Austin got one. I'm like,
I just can't
bring on the bears.
Like I shot one years ago, and I had the opportunity to shoot a brown bear, and I was like, I don't want to. I don't want to shoot another bear.
It's tough to say because I've never done it.
Yeah.
But I probably would be that same way. Or like once
I
get
hope
one,
you do get one. Like I would never tell someone don't shoot your first bear. That's stupid. I had a fucking blast. I love it. I'm so glad I did it, but I don't have.
I also
the desire
have standards for me. Like 100-pound black bear is not something I'm interested in shooting. It's going to have to be 200 for me. Yeah, that's my line.
Some people are like,
Cubs.
They just have to shoot a bear.
Yeah,
and it's like calm down a little bit. You don't need to shoot a tiny freaking bear.
Yeah, I try not to judge, but what does Theo Vaughn say? He's like, I'm not saying I'm judging. I'm just saying other people might.
Yeah, I will judge.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Don't like it. I don't care for that at all.
I just
Tell me
think
I'm wrong, but I will judge you.
I won't say you're wrong. It's not that difficult in PA to shoot a mature bear.
No. Because
mature bears don't necessarily mean 400 pounds. A mature bear could be 15 years old at 200 pounds.
Yeah, exactly.
But I can promise you a 75-pound black bear is not mature.
No.
That's kind of where I'm at, where it's like I want that 200-pound mark because that to me that's a decent representation of a bear. A lot of states, that's a big bear.
Yeah.
PA not so much. PA
gets monster bears.
Yeah, there's 700-pound bears killed every year. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
But still, even in PA, if you shoot a 200-pound bear, that is a great bear.
Yeah. Austin turned his in, I think it was 216.
Yeah.
And the guy said it was the biggest bear that's been in the butcher cent, like at the time.
Yeah.
You know.
The one I killed, I think, was right around the 250 marks.
Which in Alaska, though, that's way bigger than a PA bear. Like a 250-pound black bear in Alaska is exceptionally better than a 250-pound black bear in PA.
Yes. They don't get those 700-pound bears.
And it's because they hibernate up there.
Yeah.
Where in Pennsylvania, if you don't know this, they don't hibernate.
Yeah.
So
they
they
kind of
can
like half hibernate. They like go to sleep for a little bit, come back out,
Yeah.
go to sleep, come back
I mean,
out.
we hunt them in the winter, so
Yeah.
it's like, how much are they really hibernating?
Yeah. Whereas in Alaska, they are full-blown hibernating.
I don't even know how that's.
Sleep for,
I want to know how that's even possible. Like, you can't just sleep for months.
well, no, you can't. Bears can't.
I just
Bears
want to know.
absolutely can.
I just want to know why. Like, I would love to dive in to like talk to somebody that understands why bears can do that.
We're gonna say make it a project. We'll have like a project podcast. We'll find someone that really knows a lot about bears.
And if I can't, I'm gonna do some serious research.
Yeah.
Because I'm interested in that, because it has always blown my mind how they can just bulk up and then just
Sleep it off.
it's mind-boggling.
And they have cubs while they're hibernating.
Yeah. Well, and then the other thing, like, if you think about it, if you don't eat, your stomach acid starts trying to eat your stomach.
Yeah.
How the hell are they doing it for months?
They're built different, bro.
They are built different. But anyways, yeah, that's the bear. And that's pretty much all the updates I have for deer season. I'm getting hopeful. Oh, I do have another update. People on here probably don't give two shits, but you will. Bow is back in service.
Baby,
Yeah.
you fixed the bow.
Yeah, back in service. Actually fixed it myself.
Just said the hell with the company.
Yeah, well,
they were taking way too
No,
long.
it wasn't not them. I would never say anything wrong with them. They've been great. But after taking photos, talking to them, I realized it was something I could handle without waiting for shipping and everything else. So, yeah, I don't want to say anything bad about Option Archery. They've been absolutely phenomenal. Their sites are very expensive, but after the customer service I've had, I would buy another one. But I don't have to. It's got a lifetime warranty. If I ever break it, they just fix it.
Send you a new one.
Yeah, and he responded like right away every time. And it was just more like when it broke, I was kind of like, shit, I don't have time to fix this or deal with this during turkey season, so I just grabbed my shotgun.
Yeah.
So I just assumed, yep, it's broke, gonna have to get it repaired. When I really took it apart and started taking pictures to show him what was wrong with it, I was like, wait a minute, I think
I can fix this.
like just a little. I had to retap a hole and do some other things, put a new bolt in, and it was fine.
So you're back up and running.
Yeah,
ready to start flinging some carbon.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I can't
So
wait.
I figured I'd let you know that.
I appreciate that.
But on that note, I guess we'll wrap things up there. Just want to thank everybody for continuing to listen. It's been great. 189 episodes. If you've made it to the end of this one, hope you stay around for 189 more. You guys know what to do. Get outside.